Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to do makeup on a client. You guys have requested to see how I do makeup on my clients, so I thought I would do that for you guys today. I'm going to show you how to highlight and contour and how to do this smoky Arab eye. Please bear in mind that this is not an everyday makeup look. This is very heavy and very dramatic. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you would like to see how I achieve this look, please keep watching and enjoy. My glam process is a little bit different. I like to start off with the eyebrows first. I brush them out with a spoolie and then I am filling them in with Anastasia Beverly Hills brow powder in the shade Ebony, and I'm using a MAC angled brush. I'll have all product details listed down below. Moving straight onto the face, I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer in the shade 1 and applying this with a concealer brush to all the points of her face that I want to highlight. This is an extremely heavy duty concealer. It's full coverage, it covers absolutely anything, and the best part about it is that it doesn't crease. So it's perfect to go underneath the eyes and to give you that really flawless appearance. To slim her face a little bit and to further define her cheekbones, I'm going to be taking that concealer and drawing two lines from the tops of her ears to the corner of her mouth. This will help slim it a little bit and to further define the cheekbones. I was standing at the weirdest angle of life and I accidentally drew that line in the middle of her ear, but it should be a lot higher, just reaching the top of her ear. But anywho, I am taking my Bobbi Brown BBU palette and taking the shade Almond and filling in the places that I want to contour. So pretty much the hollows of her cheeks, her forehead and her jawline, and also on her nose. This varies for different people. I wouldn't do this the same way for absolutely everybody because everybody has different face shapes. And with the nose contour, you want to kind of bring it up into the eye area to make it look a little bit more natural. Well, as natural as it gets. Taking a dry beauty blender, yes, a dry beauty blender. I don't remember the last time I used a wet beauty blender on a client, but you want to take that and start to blend out those highlights. You always want to make sure that you blend out the highlight first. You also want to make sure that you're pressing in the product into the skin and not taking that beauty blender and swiping or going into circular motions. You want to really press it in. If you're wondering why I use it dry, it's because when you're using a wet beauty blender, it's just adding more moisture into the skin, whereas using a dry beauty blender will soak up all the oils from that product and leave the pigmentation, which is what you really want. Now moving on to foundation, I'm taking a very, very small amount of foundation for the whole face, about a little bit bigger than a 5-cent coin, and I'm taking that and just patting it over the edges of the highlighted and contoured areas. So in that area between the highlight and contour, I'm not directly applying this over the highlight. I am slightly applying it over the contour to help it blend in a little bit, and then going back in with my beauty blender and just dabbing in and making sure it is all well blended and there are no streaks. I'm just taking that beauty blender and going back over the under eye area and just making sure it is all blended in perfectly and just making sure that it all looks on point before we set it. Taking a powder puff and MAC Studio Fix powder in the shade C2, I am setting the under eye area first and then going in and setting the forehead, chin and below the cheekbones. And you want to press that product in with the powder puff. There's a lot of different methods where you can set the concealer and foundation, but this is the method I chose today. But you want to make sure that you don't set the contoured areas with that powder because they will start to look ashy and grey, and we will be setting it anyway when we start to apply our bronzer, which is what we're doing now. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, and I'm applying this to the hollows of her cheekbones, around her face and around her jawline, and also onto the bridges of her nose. I'm applying MAC Warm Soul Blush to the apples of her cheeks. This is such a universal shade. I believe everybody needs to have this shade in their kit. It is just perfect. And for her highlight, I am taking the highlight shade from the Charlotte Tilbury Bronze and Glow palette and applying that to her cheekbones, her temples, and the bridge of her nose, Cupid's bow, with a fan brush. Moving on to the eyes, I'm first applying MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre over her eyelids as a base. Pretty much all the eyeshadows I'll be using are from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe Brushes palette. The first thing I'm doing is taking this warm brown shade and just packing that into the crease and not blending that out. This will help the color stay intense. I'm taking a fluffy brush and taking a lighter brown shade and just blending out the edges of that. And you see how it just stays intense, like the color didn't really fade too much. I'm just taking a bigger fluffy brush and making sure those edges are well blended. Taking a matte deep purple shade from the palette, I'm applying this to the outer corner of her eye and making sure it is well blended into the crease and also blending it into the middle of the eye. And also repeat that to your desired opacity. Taking a lighter cranberry shade, I'm applying this with a flat brush to the lid. And just making sure that it is blending well into everything else. Moving on to liner, I am using my Immortal Gel Liner, as always. Not only do I use this on myself, but I always use it on my clients as well. I'm starting from the middle of that eye, working my way outwards and then going into the inner corner and then going back out. When it comes to drawing the wing, I always ask my clients to open their eyes and look straight ahead because it allows me to draw the liner and to kind of visualize how it will look when the eye is open. When starting out, I was never able to draw the flick when the eyes were closed. So I definitely do think that when the eye is open, it's just a lot easier and you always get it right. To deepen up the outer corner a little bit, I went in with a black eyeshadow. This is Makeup Geek Corrupt, and applied it just above that liner and also blended it up into the crease a little bit. I then applied my brow bone highlight. This is Makeup Geek Shimmer eyeshadow, and I applied this using this brush by Morphe Brushes. And also making sure that it blends in well with the rest of the eye look. Moving back to eyeliner, I'm taking that same Immortal Gel Liner and applying it into the waterline. I always find that applying a gel liner in the waterline works a lot better than a kohl because it doesn't smudge as much. Now to do the point, I guess it's different on every eye. You gotta cater it to that person's eye. I'm just slightly pointing it out, starting from the lower lash line. I like to draw my points starting from the lower lash line, waterline, dragging it outwards and then connecting it to the top lash line. I'm also taking that eyeliner and drawing it or applying it to the lower lash line and blending that out with a Makeup Geek Cocoa Bear eyeshadow. Also went in with a little bit of Corrupt eyeshadow to that lower lash line to deepen it up a little bit more and blended it out with some more Cocoa Bear. We just want this to blend out seamlessly and to just be really dramatic and smoked out. And I also went back in and touched up that inner corner point. Apply mascara to your top and bottom lashes. I applied, of course, MAC Extended Play Giggle Black Lash to the bottom and then L'Oreal Voluminous Lash to the top. And the lashes I applied were House of Lashes Noir Fairy. For lips, I started off with lining the lips with NYX lip liner in the shade Nutmeg. But then I went over that with MAC Spice lip liner. For lipstick, I applied a cream blush by YSL. I find cream blushes are a lot more long wearing and they just feel really good on the lips. It was in the shade number 1, I believe. And the lip gloss I used was Charlotte Tilbury Lip Luster in the shade Ibiza Nights. Finish that off with a setting spray and you are done. And that is it for this tutorial. I want to say a massive thank you to my friend and fellow YouTuber Hannah for being my model. I will leave a link to Hannah's channel down below if you want to check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video and hopefully learned something new. Thumbs up if you would like me to do more videos and tutorials on clients and other people. And yeah, thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!